Hi there, welcome back to my channel. This is the third and the last murder from the Chinese drama Justifiable Defense. So let's start. Prosecutor Duan Hong Shan appears right from the very first seconds of this series and declares at the police station that he has killed someone. Alright, let's take a look at the situation. One evening, while at home with his daughter, Prosecutor Duan Hong Shan goes outside supposedly to meet a friend when he is struck on the head and kidnapped by a man who takes him on a fishery at sea, a place that's very hard to escape from in the rain. But who is this man and why did he kidnap him? This is none other than Jolene's father, Judelong. He became mentally unstable after the death of his son 14 years ago and always believed that May was the one who had killed his child. As a result, he hated her immensely and also hated the fact that Prosecutor Duan Hong Shan had helped her. This is where the whole plot gets messy. At one point, Li Mu Feng wanted to commit suicide, but he was saved at the last moment by Judelong himself, who saw a strong resemblance between Li Mu Feng and his deceased son Lin. For this reason, Li Mu Feng stuck around Lin's father, partly to repay him in a way, but also to prevent any possible actions Judelong might take against May. And through this growing closeness, we found out that Judelong only had 2 months left to live due to a cancer, and in Li Mu Feng's mind, a plan begins to take shape. How can I continue to protect the woman I love, and how can I get revenge on the man who completely destroyed my life? It's something like, let's catch 2 birds in 1 stone. And so we discovered that Judelong lived wall to wall with Prosecutor Duan Hong Shan and had been listening to his every move for about a year. Whenever Duan Hong Shan left his house, Judelong would follow him everywhere, eavesdrop on everything he said, and sink deeper and deeper into his hatred, until one night when he attacked him and unconsciously kidnapped him, taking him to the fishery. There, he tied him to a post and began accusing him over a phone live stream, which by the way was fake, so that it wouldn't leave any traces online if it had been a real one. Now, who do you think came up with this plan? Well, obviously, Li Mu Feng, who wanted Duan Hong Shan to experience a taste of what he had lived through for 4 years. He even destroyed Judelong's original phone found by May in the sea and smashed it to eliminate any evidence that could have been used in Duan Hong Shan's defense. Using the fragments to create art for his glass exhibition, he melted the phone, which contains platinum, to create Prince Rupert's drop. Now let's see. A Prince Rupert drop is a glass object formed by dripping molten glass into cold water, which causes it to solidify rapidly. This rapid cooling creates significant internal stress within the glass. Why they are strong? The rapid cooling creates a state of compression on the surface of the drop and tension in the interior. The compressive stress on the surface makes the head incredibly strong and resistant to shattering. Why they are fragile? If the tail is broken, the stored tension in the interior is released, causing the entire drop to shatter into tiny pieces due to the rapid propagation of a crack through the glass. In essence, the Prince Rupert's drop is a testament to the power of internal stresses and how they can be manipulated to create materials with seemingly contradictory properties. Now, let's back to the murder. But things didn't remain that way, because someone working on retrieving the data managed to find something on the cloud, and it clearly showed that Prosecutor Duan Hong Shan was indeed acting in justifiable self-defense, and that he only used a knife to stab Zhu Dulong after being attacked multiple times. Now, what can I say? Just at the moment the verdict for murder was about to be announced, this colleague appeared with the crucial data to save Prosecutor Duan Hong Shan. Had those recordings not existed, he would have gone to prison. But instead, he was acquitted with the verdict of justifiable defense and reinstalled as a prosecutor. In a way, it makes sense that Prosecutor Duan Hong Shan wouldn't go to prison because he did nothing wrong. He didn't interfere in anything. On the contrary, he was directly attacked, kidnapped, and held against his will. But through the entire series, I had the feeling that he kind of figured out all the connections and the undercurrents of each case, and then I don't understand why he kept silent. It's as if he was waiting for each person to confess the truth of their own accord, as if he accepted everything happening to him, a sort of ultimate enlightenment. He saw the bigger picture in each case. He already knew who and why and so on. That to me was very strange for the character, I don't know. And yes, the last episode when Prosecutor Duan Hong Shan goes to Li Mu Feng's studio and they sit face to face and speak openly about how Li Mu Feng orchestrated his kidnapping and this attempted incrimination just to get revenge, in my opinion, was very intense in what it represented. They sat face to face, they talked very calmly, which took a lot of courage and power for both of them. I mean, the prosecutor Duan Hong Shan just remained calm and he listened why Li Mu Feng wanted him to get attacked, and on the other hand, Li Mu Feng was very calm and he explained everything step by step, every reason. But the rest, I mean, the discussion in the last episode was very intense, was very raw, like they lay all the cards on the table in front of each other, but something is still missing because it ended very abruptly, in my opinion. What can I say? Based on the translation of the text in the final scene, it says Li Mu Feng is suspected of unlawful detainment and Mei Zhang is suspected of a beating in evidence destruction. Both cases are with the procurator for reviewing the prosecution. I don't know. I think the final few lines at the end were just written for the idea of justice. I still think it's extraordinary to have the strength of character to choose to be in full emotional control and to be able to stand in front of someone who wished you harm and to remain calm and willing to understand their point of view, and vice versa, to be the one who wanted to cause harm but still have the strength to calmly explain why. That's clearly something that rarely happens in real life, or like never, because people are usually driven by emotions. So for me, episode 15 was absolutely brilliant in every sense. After that conversation, that revelation from both sides, it just doesn't work to the last lines when they say that both Li Mu Feng and Mei Zhang turn themselves in. I mean, she turns back. She finally wanted to leave everything behind, and now she thinks that he, like Li Mu Feng, wants to confess because he was discovered by the true prosecutors without having any clear or tangible evidence. And out of a moral obligation, or perhaps even some feelings, she goes back and confesses too, saying she withheld some information from a case that happened 14 years ago. Like, seriously? If I'm missing something from this drama, please comment me below. And anyway, please tell me what you think about it.